everybody, it's Becky. Just got back from Disney World on May 10th. Yeah, Mother's Day. We came back on Mother's Day. And so I wanted to do kind of a trip recap and a highlight video to share with you some of the most fun things that we did, some of my thoughts on some different things. And maybe if you haven't been or you haven't been in a while, it'll give you some ideas of things you want to make sure that you have time to do when you go to Disney World. So one thing that we did that we've never done before is we went horseback riding at the Tri-Circle D Ranch, and that's actually at the Wilderness Resort. So if you have kids that are 9 and up, they can actually ride on a big horse, and it's about a 45-minute trail that's guided, and you know, it's around, I think, $50 a person. And we waited for a while. My oldest daughter is crazy about horses, but you know, she wasn't old enough because you have to be 9 and up. So now that she's 11, this was her first year to do that. So me and her did that alone while my husband kept my youngest daughter. They went lizard hunting somewhere. And it was really fun. It was really nice. I mean, it was really the most, I've been on trail rides before at other places, and like the horses are kind of like, you know, they won't try to veer off. This one was like serious. My horse wanted to eat every 5 seconds. Seriously. I mean, he stopped at every bush, every tree, every twig, every clump of dirt. Like one time he had a clump of dirt hanging from his mouth and he thought it was grass, and so he's like throwing it, you know, and there's dirt going everywhere. He was serious. He wanted to eat. And so I almost fell off of him many times. He would bend over and I'm like, you know, and the lady'd say, pull him up, you know, but they're heavy out. It was intense. It was a little bit of a workout, but it was fun. My daughter's horse was fine. It did not seem to want to eat as much as mine did. So I don't know what my horse's deal was, but apparently it was snack time. That was really fun nonetheless. And then for younger kids 9 and under, they have a pony riding section. It was fun to be able to be both places. I was able to ride the big horses with my oldest daughter and then go to the pony rides with my youngest daughter. And the thing that made it really special, and I didn't know this and I wasn't expecting this, they actually let me guide her pony around the little path. And it's a self-guided path, so really I should have walked slower because it went kind of fast. It's maybe a 5-minute pony ride. I mean, if you stop and look around, I guess it would last longer, but I didn't really think about it, and I kind of, you know, just kind of trucked on. But it's really neat for me to be able to guide her horse while she was on it. That was really fun and special. She loved it, and for $9, I mean, you can't beat that. And you don't have to stay at that resort to be able to do that. Any of the, you know, you could be off property, you don't have to be on Disney property, or you could be staying at any other Disney resort, and you could still go over to the wilderness and do that if you want to. So that was really fun, something special that we had not done before. I also really enjoyed just the hotel in general. We always stay at Riverside. It used to be called Dixie Landings back when I was a kid. I've grown up pretty much staying at that resort. And to me, first of all, it feels like a home away from home. And they say welcome home when you pull in. And I'm like, thank you, I'm glad I'm home. You know, I feel like when I'm at Disney and when I'm at that hotel, that's my second home. I love it. I love walking around. The grounds are so beautiful at that hotel. It's really a low-key, I haven't stayed at all the resorts, but for all the ones that I've seen or stayed at, it's really low-key, a lot quieter, a lot more peaceful. There's a lot of walking paths with hammocks kind of scattered around and little places to sit. There's a beautiful waterway that goes through, and you can take the boat from the Riverside actually to downtown Disney, which is what we usually do. Instead of parking at downtown Disney, we just take the boat. Plus it's a nice, beautiful ride. So I really love and really enjoy staying at Riverside, and I always have. We usually stay in a royal room, which is something they've done here in the last 5 to 8 years anew. They redid a certain section of the resort that these are royal rooms. They are more expensive, but they're really neat the way they're themed. I don't know if I should give it away or not, but I'm not gonna give it away. I was gonna put some video footage in, but I don't want to ruin it. But there's some really special things that happen on the headboard, the theming on the carpet, and even the faucets are different. The wallpaper is different. So if you get a chance to stay at a royal room, I would really recommend that. Plus, to me, that's the prettiest part of the resort, where as far as the view and everything. They have really beautiful gardens. They have like rose gardens that are themed after different princesses. So they have like the Briar Rose section, the Tiana section. So it's really a nice, really beautiful hotel. Even if you're not going to go anywhere that day and you just want to hang out at the hotel, it's just a really beautiful. They have really pretty bridges you can walk over. And that's one thing that seems silly that we always enjoy, is walking from our hotel room to the food court if we're eating there that night. Going over the bridge, there's spider webs all over the bridge, like by the lights, and it's really neat to see all the different spider webs, so we always stop and look at the different designs and the little spiders and if they're home or not. So that's always been really fun. They also do carriage rides there. If you're interested in a carriage ride versus maybe horseback riding, there is a section by the marina at night where they're, I think usually they have 2 or 3 carriage horses that are going, giving carriage rides. So you can make reservations if you want to do that. And I think it's around $45 for a 30-minute ride, and they take you through the, through the Riverside ground. One thing we also did this year was the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. We had done that with my oldest daughter when she was about 5, and so now that my youngest daughter is 5, I wanted to do it with her so they both can say they've done it. And I don't necessarily think it's worth the money. The girls like it. It's $60 for the cheapest package. We bring our own dress, and $60 gets you the hairdo, they paint their nails, and a little bit of makeup and a sash. So it is fun. The girls do like it, and it's something that I think it's just as much for the parents to see their kids dressed up that way as it is for the kids. It's really fun if you are going to do it, if you have a dining reservation that night at Cinderella Castle or at Be Our Guest. It's nice to go there and get their dress and get them all prettied up and then go to dinner that night. That's fun. It's really fun for them. I don't think it's worth the $60, and that's the cheapest package. I mean, we saw so many people there spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars because they bought dresses, they bought the, all the upgrades. As I mentioned in my, I think it was the top 10 tips for Disney video, we bring our own dress. $60 is plenty. Plus it takes quite a bit of time out of your day. You have to make sure you don't miss your appointment. You're going to be there for about an hour. So it is an investment in time and money that I'm glad that we have done and we will not probably do again. To kind of replace that though, my oldest daughter, she wanted to do something that was kind of dress up like that, but she's too big for the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. She's at that age, you're 11, so you're too big to be little and too little to be big. So I wanted to find something for her, and there is a really neat option now at Magic Kingdom called the Pirates League. And it's actually next to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and traditionally you would think it's just pirate stuff, but they actually have a mermaid makeover, which is really neat. They do like this really pretty eye makeup where they have like little scales, like a mermaid tail. It's really beautiful. They do their hair, they paint their nails, they get a sash. It was just really fun, and both girls actually did that. I don't know how that worked out, but they both ended up doing that. So that was fun, and it's quite a bit less expensive. Just for the mermaid package, it's $39.95, and that does include the makeup, the hair, the sash, and the fingernail polish. And they get to take all their stuff home that they used. Oh, and a hair clip that changes colors in the sun too. I forgot about that. So that was really fun. It was a lot less messy than when you go to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and they like coat the kids in glitter and everybody in the family looks like Liberace by the time you're done. The Pirates League was a lot nicer. There was no glitter involved. It was just the really pretty shimmery makeup. And it was really fun because all the cast members that work there talk like, pirates speak. So it's really neat to talk, to them with their little pirate accents and stuff. So that's really fun. It's a good option if you want to do something less expensive or with an older child, or maybe you just can't get into the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique because it's hard to get an appointment there, but you still want to do something fun. Maybe get a really shimmery outfit or even a mermaid costume. We saw some littler girls that did that. Obviously my older girl wouldn't do that, but maybe if you get like a really shimmery shirt or something sequiny and then you go and get your mermaid makeup done, and that was really fun. And it lasted a good 2 days before it started like just falling off their faces. Another option, if you want just something special that's free, you can go to the Castle Couture shop behind Cinderella Castle. It's just a gift shop, but they will give you some magic pixie dust if you ask. They have a little wand and they'll shake it over your kids and they'll be covered in glitter and they'll be happy, and it's free. Back to kind of the highlights. I picked a couple things from each park that kind of sticks out in my memory of the best part of the trip. So for Animal Kingdom, for me, it's always the safari ride. I love the Kilimanjaro safari ride, and I actually did a video about that a couple days ago of the highlights. We saw a lot of really good animals this time. Usually, even if you go earlier in the day, and that's what I had said in that video, the earlier you go in the day to that safari, usually the better it is, because the animals tend to get hot in the afternoon and they go kind of into hiding and take naps. So if you're there earlier, they're usually more active. For some reason, it was a little bit cooler there this year than usual in May. And so even though we didn't go terribly early in the day, I think it was around 1:30, they were still active. And it was the first time in all the years of going to Disney, I think, that I have ever seen the lions awake. I've never seen them awake. They're always sleeping. I'm like, get up and do something. So they were awake, so that was exciting. The hippo was neat because he popped up out of the water. Usually they stay submerged whenever I see them. Right when our truck passed by the hippo section, he popped up out of the water and kind of shook his head, and that was really neat. The elephants were nice, and then giraffes are my favorite. I love giraffes. We've been there times before when the giraffe has been like right next to the truck, like eating leaves out of the tree. It's amazing. It's the best way that you're going to see these animals up close, except maybe a really good zoo, I guess, that maybe has them really close up. I've never been that close to them before, so it's really fun. That's always my favorite. And I'll link that video below if you want to see it. I shortened it a little bit so you don't have to watch the whole thing. I just put in the highlights of the animals and some close-ups. At Epcot, the Living with the Land boat ride is probably dorky, but it's my favorite ride. That and Soarin' are my two favorites. And Living with the Land is just a boat ride that goes through and talks about like hydroponics and how they grow food hydroponically, how they use aquaculture. And it shows all the, I don't know why I like that ride so much. I mean, I know I like food, but I don't really think I would like a boat ride just because it's food. I don't know. I love it. It's relaxing, it's peaceful, it makes me happy, and I think it's really fun. So if you haven't done that, make sure you do that. It's in the Land at Epcot, and then right next to the Land is Soarin'. It's in the same building. And if you haven't done Soarin', it's like you're on a virtual parasailing kind of a thing. So you're going over different California scenes in this big parasailing kind of a thing. Your feet dangle, and it's really neat and relaxing, and that's also my favorite at Epcot. Another thing at Epcot that I really like is like I said, we always go to Disney in May. Unless we go in Disney December too, but we usually always go in May every year. And the Flower and Garden Festival is always going when we're there. And then that's really nice to see because they have like really neat, intricate themed topiaries. I mean, these things are not like a topiary. They are full, like huge topiaries of all these different Disney characters, and they're always different every time you go. They actually have a little brochure you can pick up that's like a topiary scavenger hunt where you go around and look for all the different ones. They have like the floating water basket or flower baskets in the water. Those are really neat. My girls really like the butterfly exhibit they have during the Flower and Garden Festival where you go inside this big greenhouse. And there's butterflies everywhere, and there was caterpillars, and there were some butterflies that were just coming out of their cocoons. I mean, it was just really neat. They love it. It's always hot in there, but it was really neat to see all the butterflies. And usually somebody will land on, butterflies will land on the kids, and they're all excited. So that's really fun. Oh, this is kind of random too, but usually I don't like the food at Epcot anywhere because, as I have said, I'm a picky eater. Even in America, which is one of the countries in Epcot, every time I eat in America, I get sick. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'll have a hot dog, I'll have a hamburger, like seriously, sick. So I don't even eat there, and I don't get it because I am American. I eat American food, but for some reason when I go to Epcot and eat in America, I get sick. So go figure that one out. But, with all the other countries, there's 11 countries that are represented at Epcot, and I don't like anything. I don't like Japanese food. I don't like Mexican food. I don't like anything. I like plain things and boring things, and so it's always hard for me to eat there. The best place for me to eat is at Le Cellier Canadian Steakhouse. I don't get the steak. I get the grilled chicken off the kids menu because, like I said, it's the same grilled chicken that they serve at the Brown Derby, and it's the same grilled chicken they serve at Be Our Guest. It's not plain in a bad way, but it's not spicy, not terribly flavorful. It's good and moist and all that stuff, but it's boring, and it's what I like. So I usually get that, but the pretzel bread in Canada at Le Cellier is amazing. They bring out, I think, 3 different types of bread that are kind of a Canadian specialty. There's like a sourdough version, and there's something else I can't remember. And they have this pretzel bread, and it is so good. So if you go there, make sure that you try the pretzel bread because it's amazing. I am talking so much, my tongue is tired. At Magic Kingdom, the favorite this year was the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It opened last year, the day after we left, and it was extremely obnoxious because not only did it open the day after we left, they were letting people, like bloggers, I guess, that had some kind of a special pass, they were letting them ride it in advance before it actually opened to the public. So we would see people riding it and yay, and having fun, but we weren't allowed to ride it, and it opened the day after we left. So we did not get to ride it last year, so this year was the first time riding it. I think we got to ride it 3 times, maybe 4. It was really fun because my mom and dad rode it with us, and my mom and dad have not ridden a roller coaster in seriously like 30 years. My mom screamed like a little girl. My dad giggled like a little kid. I mean, it was hilarious, and that was really almost as much fun as the ride itself, was hearing them giggle and laugh, and they loved it. And we all had a good time. It's a great ride. It's a pretty easy ride. My 5-year-old didn't have any issues, so if you have maybe neck pain, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but it's not rough at all. And I'm pretty picky about things beating me around. Like, I don't like Expedition Everest because it always makes my neck bend backwards like a flamingo leg. Somehow, whenever I ride that ride, I get stuck with my neck like this, and I look like an idiot because I can't get my head back up. I don't like to be beaten around like that. So that's one reason why I like Rock and Roller Coaster. It's nice and smooth, and this ride now is really nice and smooth as well. So I really love that. That was really fun. And of course, the nighttime fireworks show, Wishes, is always a favorite. That song at the beginning gets me every time, the Starlight, Starbright, and that little kid's voice that sings it. It's so sweet, and it makes you think, I'm actually at Disney. I'm at Disney now. When I hear that song, I know that it's officially, I'm at Disney, and it's really happening. I'm there, and I love it, and it's really fun. And now they have added, I don't know when they actually started it. It seems like it's been a couple years now. the Celebrate the Magic show where they do like a light show on the castle before the fireworks start. And that's really neat. And to me, it's almost my new favorite thing, even more so than Wishes, is what they can do to the castle is amazing. If you've been to Magic Kingdom for the Mickey's Merry Christmas Party, then they do like a light show in the castle then. It's kind of the same thing, but it's really neat how they can even change the way the dimensions of the castle look with lighting, and they project like parts of movies, and they have songs, and it's really neat. So if you haven't seen that, I would recommend it. And like I said, it comes on about, I think, 30 minutes before the fireworks show starts. So you want to make sure you get a good view of the castle for that and the fireworks. At Hollywood Studios, we went to the Elsa and Anna sing-along this time. I wasn't really looking forward to it because I thought, oh, it's a sing-along, and I don't sing in public. The only people I sing in front of are my kids, and even that's getting embarrassing because my oldest daughter is old enough to know now that I can't sing. It was really cute, and it's funny because even though Elsa and Anna were kind of neat, Anna's always, you know, she's my favorite more so than Elsa, but it was neat because there's like these two kind of side characters that narrate kind of the story of Frozen, and it's always the little characters that are the best. Even in Disney movies, it's like Mushu takes the show on Mulan, and you know, all these little characters, it's always the sidekicks that are almost better than the real stars of the show, like Olaf, you know. And that's the case with these people that narrated the show. They were really funny, so I was kind of not looking forward to seeing it, and it turned out to be really cute and enjoyable, and something really neat happens at the end. So I would recommend going to that and getting a fast pass if you can. And also at Hollywood Studios, I mean, of course, Rock and Roller Coaster, like I said. Tower of Terror, you know, I mean, I've ridden it so much growing up. It's fun and I like it, but it's not one of those things that I would want to ride over and over again. But the Toy Story ride, I can ride over and over again. It's my favorite, and I think we got to ride it 3 or 4 times. It's really hard to get a fast pass for. So what I would recommend is trying to get a fast pass, but then even if you want to ride it again, if you've already ridden it once or whatever, I would recommend to go to Hollywood Studios on a night when they have extra magic hours, and try to go when most of the people might be at the Fantasmic nighttime show. A lot of people go to that, and you can try to hit some of the more popular rides then because most people are at that show. Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Toy Story are the 3 that I would head up, you know, when most people are at Fantasmic. But one more thing I wanted to mention too is, you know, I've mentioned before, you don't have to stay on Disney property in order to visit or eat at any of the Disney resorts. So even though we stay on property, we eat a lot at the Contemporary for Chef Mickey's, which just recently announced they're going to start serving brunch with characters. Right now it's just breakfast and dinner, but I believe at the end of May they're starting brunch. So that's exciting, something to think about. If you can't get in for breakfast, maybe try brunch because they will still be serving the famous Mickey waffles. We'd eaten there for breakfast that morning, and we left our car there and took the monorail from the Contemporary to Magic Kingdom since it's right next door. And so when we went back to get our car, and my little one was asleep in the stroller, she was wiped out. But we're walking across the parking lot, and we see like this little shadow kind of going across, and we're like, what is that? And it was an armadillo, and it was so cute. We've seen him before. One more time we saw at, we went to play mini golf a couple years ago, and there was one in the bushes. This little guy was just kind of like trudging along like a little old man across the parking lot, and he ran off in the bushes. And then we saw another one farther up the parking lot. So that was really fun. It was kind of an unexpected treat because you never know what wildlife you're going to see. We see all kinds of lizards. My daughter's always trying to catch them. She kept one on the bus when we rode from the horseback riding, like the big horses. My husband had caught one for her, so she named him Jeffrey. And she carried Jeffrey in her hand on the bus all the way, you know, to the other horseback riding place. I mean, this lizard went everywhere with her that day, just about, and then we let him go in the bushes after we got done. But Jeffrey is safe. He was not harmed. But, you know, they're catching lizards. There's always frogs. There's ducks, armadillos. I mean, there's all kinds of really neat wildlife that you can see as an unexpected treat. So that was really fun to see the little armadillo. He was really cute. So that is my kind of highlights and recap video from our trip to Disney. We always have a really good time. Disney, to me, is my mothership. I mean, I feel like I belong there. I've gone there every year since I was a kid, and it's just, it feels right to me to be there. I love it. I love the feeling there. It's like being in a snow globe. Time is different at Disney World. It's kind of like Christmas, you know how time feels different. It feels that way to me at Disney World too, and I really love it. It makes me happy. We had a really great trip. May is the perfect time to go. It's less crowded. The weather's been beautiful the last couple years. It hasn't been hot at all. So thanks for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will include the playlist in the description box below for all my Disney prep videos that I made in case you're going to be going to Disney soon, or you know somebody that is and you want to share some of the tips with them. I'll put that down below so you can watch all those videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.